Oh, hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have done for the last 11 and a half months and counting, because the daily stream streak is 10 days away from reaching its 1-year anniversary, I am here to open the office doors of my, office to you, the Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for the next 1 hour to answer your SCP Foundation-related questions. But before we begin the general Q&A, let me start with a little bit of housekeeping. First and foremost, Dr. Vera Lovelace, congratulations on being today's #1 most punctual member of the Containment Hazard Assessment Team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Alongside you, 369 Destroyer, Froy, Legendary Doge, Black Phoenix, Froy, Senior Researcher Alex, Terragal, Cypher's Girl, Skywarp, Captain Evil, Greasy John. Hey, it's been a while. Hope you've been doing well. Good to see ya. Everyone who I just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site 42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, interns Jesus, Smarty, Heaven White, Juju LeBlanc, Bored as Hell, SCP Sympathizers, and Lucas the Intern. Congratulations on being here punctually, and thank you for being here today, just for being you. Now, today's stream is sponsored by us here at Site 42. Want to support Site 42 and wear some cool merch? We have our Reservoir Docs t-shirt available at the scpstore.org, the premier SCP Foundation content creator team-up merch store. So if you want to wear Doctors Cleth, Crow, Sherman, Sumerian, Kondraki, and Weddle on your chest emblazoned proudly, you can go to the link in our Site 42 support beacon, which is pinned in the chat or the description, and get your Reservoir Docs t-shirt today. Thank you for supporting Site 42, whether it be by merch, by donations, or simply viewing. Site 42 is funded like viewers by you, like you, and we appreciate your help in that matter. And now, before we begin the standard Q&A, let me talk to you about our stream subject, which Desk has informed me has a typo that will not stand. Today's stream subject is quite simple. Do not bring cursed chests into my laboratory. Do not bring cursed chests into my laboratory. What do I mean by this? Well, obviously, we are the SCP Foundation. We secure, contain, and protect anomalies. That means if you did happen to be walking along the road and find a cursed chest full of anomalous materials, maybe you should call a secure mobile task force to come in, contain the anomaly, and bring it to us for protection and research. What you shouldn't do while you're out in the field taking Puppy of Interest 42 codename Charlie for a walk is stumble upon a random cursed chest and just bring the anomalies into my office without vetting them first. Suffice it to say, Agent Goose and Puppy of Interest 42 codename Charlie were out on a patrol and brought me some gifts. Some gifts that I'm going to need your help classifying. You see, I did not just spring this stream on you willy-nilly. Some of my researchers in the Containment Hazard Assessment team were researching these anomalies that were found within the cursed chest of nightmares.
You're welcome.
And when I show you these anomalies, I will be asking you for your research notes. So, let us begin with the first of our anomalous artifacts. Yet again, in the world of the SCP Foundation, in a world that contains SCP-049 the Plague Doctor, a white mask clad, except it's kind of its face as well, so we don't actually know if that's even a mask. Furthermore, SCP-035, which is literally an anomalous theater, tragedy, drama, comedy mask, alongside the anomalous gas mask and all. We have many, many anomalous masks. And unfortunately, another has joined the fray. Now, thanks to my very strong, very powerful, very competent cognitive resistance value, I hear slight whispers from this anomalous mask that was found in the cursed chest of artifacts. But the question becomes, what is it actually saying? I'm too powerful. I can't hear its whispers tempting me to wear it. But, Dr. Vera Lovelace, this has been in your care since last night. I'll be looking in the chat desk, keep an eye out. I want Dr. Vera Lovelace to tell me what this thing does. Hopefully, you have tested this with a few D-class overnight, and I would like to know what it's going to do to whomever wears it, what it wants, what the person inside is like. So, Dr. Vera Lovelace has been researching this all night. I will be looking forward to Dr. Vera Lovelace's report in the chat. While I await Dr. Lovelace's report, there's more. But wait, there's more. Flip the mask over. Intern Slimeat, I can flip the mask over for you. I can. So this is the front of the mask. This is the little pretty flower. And if we turn it around, it is a little more plain on the back. Intern Darklight, you are correct. Do not put the mask on. The first thing you learn about anomalous masks is don't put them on. Just don't. Don't fall for its whispers. Exactly. Akavaj. Do not fall for its whispers. Do not believe its lies. This is very clear to anybody who is familiar with anomalies in general. Desk, while I'm continuing to speak on the various anomalous artifacts that we are showcasing today in our lesson about not bringing random cursed chests into my laboratory, I will move on to the next artifact. The next artifact in the things that are classically anomalous, so classically so that you should not bring them into my laboratory because they are clearly going to be a problem. The cursed locket! What do you mean? You found a cursed locket upon a rusted chain, and you brought it into my office.
You're welcome.
This text upon the locket reads, "I love you," which I just met you. That's not the way I feel about you. Back off. Now, you can tell by looking into the back here that there is some empty space within, but we have not yet been able to open the cursed locket. Again, you have to be worried about any cursed locket and opening it, so if we are going to open it, it's going to be in a sealed container with a D-class active, and self-defense situations ready for in case that D-class is possessed by a spirit and needs to be neutralized. But researcher Tara Gall, you have been studying this all night. I need you to tell me what you have found out about the cursed locket with the rusted chain. And so, researcher Tara Gall, please fulfill your report's contents to desk, who will pass it on to me. Now, while I was talking about the cursed locket, it seems that Desk has got me some interesting news from Dr. Vera Lovelace. Dr. Lovelace, your report states, the mask is fairly harmless. It just narrates your life in an exceptionally snarky manner. 3% of those who wore it did commit suicide, though. Content warning for suicidality. So, honestly, I would not be surprised if it just annoyed them into that state. We do have several anomalies where the suicidality is not anomalous, it is just from a heightened level of stress. And if this thing is snarky enough to mock you the entire way through, then yes, I do believe that 3% is actually low for that anomaly. I'm actually kind of impressed with our D-class's self-control. Also, I have to point out, Dr. Lovelace, 3% is a very particular statistic you put there. You see, you could have said 10%, and I would have thought, okay, maybe you tested 10 D-class and 1 off themselves. Saying 5%, maybe you tested 20 D-class and 1 off themselves. How many D-class did you test? How many off themselves? 3% is very specific. You are worrying me about how you utilize resources in this research yet again. This is always a matter with you. Frickin' mallow entities. How do you get 3% with testing less than 100 D-class as 369 Destroyer? What are the statistics there? Okay. Now, while we're waiting for Terragal to fill us in on the locket, let me move on to Artifact 3. Artifact 3 appears to be a glass jar filled with multicolored sand with some sort of hair made out of string yarn of some sort, googly eyes, and this little button nose. Now, when viewed by more than one person, this anomaly is inert. But in the view of only one individual, it becomes quite talkative. It was actually very annoying while I was waiting for you guys to get into the Containment Hazard Assessment team. So thank you for finally being here. But I know that researcher 369 Destroyer had a long conversation interview with this anomaly last night. So 369 Destroyer, I'm going to need you to tell me about this anomaly, if it has any abilities besides being able to talk and apparent sapience. I will be waiting on your report. Desk, get that to me when you can. Looking into the logs to see if Terragal has responded. I'm not seeing a response from Desk. I hope that locket did not harm researcher Terragal. Here we are. All I know is the longer I spend in its presence, it makes me want to open it. I left it with a D-class, and he went insane trying to open it. He failed to open it, though. Seems something wants it open. Well, Terragal, after this stream, I will return it to your desk, and you can return it to your tests. And again, make sure you are not the one who opens it, please. Interns Yvette and intern Chantrejo. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. And so, while we are waiting for 369 Destroyer's results on testing this sand jar sapient anomaly, I will show you the last of our cursed objects from the cursed chest you really should not have brought into my office willy-nilly.
This one's my favorite.
What was the jar's name? I'm waiting for 369 Destroyer to tell me, intern Jaybird. But first, we must go into the last anomaly of today's stream. And as you may have just heard, Agent Goose's favorite anomaly of the list. Content warning! Why are you like this? Why? Content warning for adult themes. The cursed chest in the woods had something that we have dubbed with the code name the penis gnome. Because, yes, you can see that is gnome-shaped. It has a weapon. It is armed. And it is actively pelvic thrusting. Why? Why penis gnome? What are you? Why are you penis gnome? In what world was penis gnome necessary? Yes, hello, terms of service on YouTube. Good to hear from you. And yet, what is our job here at the Foundation but to research? And so, I am so insanely sorry but desk. I knew I could only entrust this to you to study. And so, desk, I'm going to need you to tell me what the hell is the deal with SCP not quite classified digitally yet, codename the penis gnome. This is, sanitation wipes are very necessary. Okay. So, while Desk fills out the report on the penis gnome, let me check in with Terragal. No, Terragal told me that the locket, I'm looking for 369 Destroyer's report on the sand jar entity. And so let's go looking into the chat for 369 Destroyer. There we go. 369 Destroyer's report. I tested it with 4D class. Essentially, when alone, it takes on the voice and personality of a bully from one's childhood. It seems to have anomalous knowledge of the victim's past, too. Well, that's why it kept calling me Sherm the Worm and other nicknames. Good to know. Thank you, 369 Destroyer. No, you don't need to repeat it. I went to your chat history. I have that power. Of course, the SCP Foundation has logs on you all. All right, returning to the standard chat. And so, chat is refreshed. I'm waiting for Desk's report on the penis gnome. But while I do, let me move over to the donations that came in during today's stream subject. We currently have approximately 40 minutes left in today's stream for general Q&A. Starting with Dr. Vera Lovelace, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some porridge on your way past the commissary. Congratulations, Dr. Sherman. Not only did the cosmic duplication proceed without a hitch, but you won the coin toss, so no K-class stress test for you. I'm feeling very soma in this moment. Worrying. Desk, thank you for donating in order to show your solidarity with Agent Goose's terrible OPSEC. Grab yourself some wet wipes from the commissary to clean up after testing with the penis gnome. Goldtooth Lair, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a slice of carrot cake on your way past the commissary. Anomalous kobold here. Did the test you wanted. The tree is now stuck in the infinite quantum tunnels, but it's not screaming. I don't see why we did. Hey, every test is a good test. We try our best. Glamrock Bonnie, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself some nachos on your way past the commissary. Doc, Peanut's escape containment is coming your way. Look out. Well, my office is locked, so I am not particularly worried about that. But I would like security to put Peanut back in its containment cell, please. It's going to make a mess all over the exterior hallways, and that is disgusting. All right, Desk has informed me of the results of testing. Here's what we've got. That's old Billy Markson, now referred to as -1. Made a deal with one of the many devils that live in the universe. Boring stuff. As you can see, it was quite obvious what it sold its soul for. While old Billy had made a deal by offering the soul of its eldest child, they had a change of heart and tried to renounce their deal. Said devil, now known as -2, said that -1 could bounce back. As the devil types like to play on words, -1 was turned into a rubber statue so they could bounce back. Anomaly furthermore referenced as old Billy gonna rubber off. Thank you, Desk, for such exceptionally thorough research. I knew I could count on you. So, from thenceforth, the old Billy is the new name for the penis gnome. Good to know. I hope you enjoyed this lesson into why we don't bring random cursed chests full of cursed objects into my laboratory. Thank you for your intrepid research team. I appreciate your research greatly. Cool Man Fight, Thank you. Or no. Mark C. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself some chowder on your way past the commissary. Put it in the clockwork machine. Which it? Which it did you want in the 914 test? Because if you say old Billy, I swear to SCP-447, codename Cockblock Jesus. Coleman Fight, thank you for donating for the first time today, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, we are having a massive problem. Several Sniders and the Hand Spider have fled from Site-42. We are still looking and requesting heavy weaponry. Well, days since the super cool petting zoo had a containment breach is reset to 0. Get the anomalies back in containment before they eat a bunch of faces, please. Shh. Shh. The lab has a visitor. But we have to be very careful. Nope. Shh. 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 We don't have to be quiet for Charlie. Good girl, Charlie. There we go. Charlie the puppy and Charlemagne the cat had a quick visit. Charlemagne does not like being on camera, so we have to be very careful. They are friends. Yes, Captain Evil Greasy John, they are friends. Charlemagne is helping train Charlie to be a cadet. All right, where was I? Skywarp, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some iced energon on your way past the commissary. Don't worry, I'll grab Peanut and put him back. It's an it because it's a statue, but yes. Intern Nagito, welcome to Level 1 Researchership here at Site-42. We appreciate your newly minted membership and service. Mark C, thank you for donating again to say, you know darn well which it I mean, Dr. Sherman. Gonna pull some strings at the 05. The hell you are. We are not, no. 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 Test denied. Not a chance. No way. Can't do it. Won't happen. I'm just taking those spiders for a walk in an amethyst mine. Coleman Fight. Check the amethyst mine and see if 369 Destroyer is correct. We definitely would be relieved if that were the case. You dyed your hair, question mark. Yes, intern bruh. I did, in fact. The on-site stylist is top of the notch. Can you see how fly my dew is? My Mountain Dew is. You see, it's a Baja Blast in here. You're welcome. Dr. Sherman, what do you think it takes for a good SCP article? Intern Jelly, that is a very complicated question because the real thing you're looking for is what does it take to make a good story. I think any story can be told well, and that's what makes it work. You can take some pretty dumb ideas and make them into a successful story / a successful SCP. That was the prompt of DumbCon on the wiki, where people took their dumbest ideas, traded them, and had to write dumb stories, but to take them seriously. It turned out quite well because, as I always say, any idea can be made good. It's not about the idea, it's about the execution. The execution is the hard part. And getting it written down, getting it critiqued, doing all that work, that's the toughie. Oh, very excited. You didn't get enough attention earlier, I see. Well, while I continue to... let me stop. She wants the belly rubs. Needs the belly rubs. It's an important part of her daily enrichment. This is very important training for the Cadet Academy. Is the belly rubbins. Very good girl. Sweetiest pumpkin on site. As I was saying, so any idea can be done well with good execution. Now, the thing about SCP stories in particular is they are, what's the phrase I'm looking for? The SCP format is restrictive. It makes it harder to write the story, but at the same time, you can get more creative when you have to think inside the box. Very often, when we are forced to just do anything we want with unlimited budget, whatever, you can't think of anything because you have too many options. By restricting yourself in format, it makes you get creative, it makes you work out solutions, and that leads to good stories. That's why the SCP format can be very enticing to people. And so that is my big thing, is make sure if whatever you want to write, learn to write, practice your writing, read a lot of SCPs, critically analyze them, and look into why they are built the way they are. If you want to get very good at this, you can ape SCP YouTuber and your favorite SCP YouTuber's favorite SCP YouTuber, Radiger, in her series, SCPs Analyzed. On Radiger's YouTube channel, we have an allotment of her new series where she has analyzed SCP-5798, SCP-4183, and SCP-6502. And you can get a critical analysis of why the SCP documents are written in the way they are, and use those as a way to learn how to break down articles yourself. If you are capable of breaking down articles, then you are capable of building your own articles. I hope that helps you in your goals moving forward. In turn, I believe it was Jelly. Intern Mario, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Lovelace, thank you for donating again to say. Fun fact, you know how humans love cats and enjoy watching cat videos? Well, us Mallows are like that with humans. You guys are just so adorable. Yes, we understand how funny you find our little humorous lives. Our short and silly, goofy goober lives, Dr. Lovelace. You tell us at every opportunity. We get it. Intern Darklight. The blue name in the chat is a moderator. That is someone you should pay attention to every time they talk. For one, because they might be saying something funny. but furthermore because they might be correcting you on a rule or giving you the answer to a question if I'm not doing so. Coleman Fight, thank you for donating twice again to say. We have confirmed the hand spider flee into the air, vent of a Burger King. We look in that mine already. It was a clone of the hand spider. What do you mean clone? I told you not to clone anomalies. I don't care if they're cute. It just takes more resources to contain them. Stop it. And we are still looking for the Snyder is fleeing to, and a fun horror fact about Snyders. They're the size of a Highlander cow and just as hairy. Put that thing back in its box, or so help me. Wait, we're employing a Mallow. Yes, intern Scared Gamer. There is one Mallow entity that, through a very close relationship with his host, eventually learned language and how to manifest itself physically. It is now a Foundation researcher named Dr. Vera Lovelace. It is also SCP-9471 in a manner of speaking. Yes, I apologize, Dr. Lovelace. I did call you an it because I'm used to calling Mallow entities its. But you work for the Foundation, and you are a she. Yes, my apologies. Slip of the tongue, force of habit. And that answers Bored as Hell's question. I called you a he. Well, I must have at the moment been thinking of your host, but then I tried to talk about your host teaching you. So that was just confusing then. My bad. Yeah, I meant to say that your host taught you to talk. At least that's what I thought I said. But I may have jumbled. I'm off the cuff here. My mistake. $369 Destroyer, thank you for donating what I believe is the first time today, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some crunchy Cheetos, the superior style of Cheeto, on your way past the commissary. The superhero tale in its current form is going for a DC Absolute tone, which I am hoping vibes well with the community. So like Absolute Batman, that's the series, and like Absolute Wonder Woman, they're doing absolutes right now, so they're kind of twisted in that way. Can you really do an absolute before doing a standard edition? Your absolute is going to be the standard edition. I guess you'd be contrasting with the Foundation as opposed as the normal edition. Okay, that works. Well, good luck. That's a very ambitious goal to reach for. I'm hearing good things about those comics. Robert, the SCP researcher, thank you for sending a $100 to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will keep it $100 at your urging. Dr. Parasitic, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as becoming a newly minted level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We congratulate you on your promotion and thank you for your newly minted membership and service. Grab yourself a macchiato on your way past the commissary. Does Mallow need a phone, or can it be on any device, including a phone iOS? In which case, what would happen if we run Mallow on a modified smart fridge or something? So considering that a Mallow app can be found on the app stores, I imagine that a smart fridge could run Mallow. Now you are dealing with the fact that you would only be getting the photos that the Mallow app sends on your smart fridge, but that has nothing to do with the entity involved. That's at least my hypothesis. Ethan Stewart, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a box of Pocky on your way past the commissary. Hi. Hi. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again to say. It wasn't me that cloned the hand spider, and I'm trying to capture the Snyder. We don't know where it is yet. Please give us more time to find it. Well, yes, you have all the time in the world because you need to find it. Although, the longer it takes, the more trouble you are in for not containing it. Meanwhile, no, I wasn't yelling at you about cloning the hand spider. I was just yelling at the royal you. Whichever one of you did it. That's who I was yelling at. Dr. Sherman, I have some wiki news. Dream is now an SCP attribute tag. So if someone asks about Dream SCPs again, you can let them know. And Series 0 now has a hub, which makes them easier to find. So Dream SCPs, that's very interesting. Thank you for that tip. But I'm very excited to hear that Series 0 has a hub now. Now I want to find the hub for Series 0. SCP Series, it probably hasn't updated to Google yet. Oh, it has. Good work, Google. So Series 0 is a canon created by Crowcat, Animal Hospital, Rat King, and Lyrin. Series 0 is about the SCP Foundation, a clandestine organization within the United States military. So they are a governmental organization in that canon. The SCP Foundation operates internationally, securing magical artifacts containing supernatural creatures and protecting civilians from their influence. What happens next is entirely up to you. Anyone can write for Series 0. We only have a few ground rules to ensure the project achieves what it ought to achieve. No canon crossovers. Characters, SCPs, locations, weapons, groups of interest, etc. developed outside of Series 0 are impermissible for use. Series 0 is a blank slate. We are starting over completely. Only SCP-173 and its immediate implications are canon, as well as any concepts invented by authors expressly for Series 0, but these are not set in stone, such as new object classes, departments, personnel, etc. We're not just doing Series 1 again. Series 0's premise begins with the question, what if SCP-173 were posted today and that's all we got? And continues with, what would we write to expand on this strange thing? Series 0 should have its own reader-friendly style, free of contemporary notions about what SCP is or should be. And please add a link back to this hub for Series 0 on your page if you are doing it. This hub is regularly updated with prompts submitted by authors who have written for the canon, so there's always something for you to latch onto. You are not required to use them. Important to note, you can write your own Series 0 whenever you want, with whatever title you want, and add it to our hub, but the prompts are there if you want to use them. Subsequently, we ask that you only submit as many prompts as you've written Series 0 SCPs. One prompt for each entry posted. So you can't just post a bunch of prompts. When you write one, you are now allowed one prompt. Now let's see how many we have so far. Ready? SCP-173, the sculpture is of course there. 9853, the Easter Rabbit. We read that one. That one was intense. SCP-9073, the Bad Man. Obedece la Morsa. The Russian sleep experiment gets a call out. 9083, Letters from Scratch. 9965, Tapeworm. 9580, I Was a Teenage Astronaut. 9533, The Whale. What the hell do you mean, Slenderman? Oh, okay, these are actually pictures of links to the creepypastas because they would be involved if they were written at that time. I see, they're being looped in. That's weird. I don't know how I feel about that. I would like to know why those are there. Maybe that's in the discussion. I'll find it in a minute. Open mouth, cold toes, moss back, ticklish structure, weird dog, flesh gate, blood sport, plague lamp, Buster Crouch and Mr. Hop, but they're looking back at our son, the switch, butt monster, that's the whole list. Butt monster. That is, right in line with the penis gnome that we found. What a crazy random happenstance. Okay, well, now anybody who wants to read the Series Zeros can hop on pretty quickly because there's a nice hub. I love that for them. I'm going to update the hub because I'm glad it exists for my pleasure. Coming over to the chat again, returning. Blue Phantom, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a chocolate chip muffin on your way past the commissary. How's your day and desk, and where Charlie? Well, my day is going frustratingly with this whole cursed chest in my laboratory problem. But I'm glad the members of staff who I assigned roles to do research are doing intrepid research. Desk is away for the moment, but do not let that be a halter. Desk will return shortly. It is Husky-related business. And Puppy of Interest 42, Charlie, is around somewhere. Ah, mandated break time. Gotcha. Ethan Stewart, thank you for donating again to say. So what's happening today? Well, if you roll back to the beginning of stream, you'll see the stream subject, which was the cursed objects. Dr. Parasitic, thank you for donating again to say. A Mallows entity's personality features could be influenced by what device its app is being run. A good way to test this is let the app run on a Nokia. Dr. Lovelace, as a Mallow entity, has an expertise in the subject, wants to point out that they are mainly influenced by the minds and thoughts of our hosts when they download the app. So that is interesting to keep in mind, though, if it could be affected by what device you're on in a manner. But at least we know that much about them from what we have researched thus far. New discovery about the bully in a bottle. I like your nickname there as a code name. Bully in a bottle. That sounds like an SCP to be sure. New discovery about the bully in a bottle. Extended exposure to D47912 into a childlike state where the bullying was actually effective. All right, well, that's quite the cognitohazard. I would rather... let's be careful with that one, then. We don't want any of our researchers reduced to childishness any more than they often are. Dr. Sherman updated on the pendant. The D class I tested with the pendant is now crying and asking for the pendant back. I'm now concerned about what's inside it. Well, once I'm done with this briefing, in about 15 minutes, we can return the pendant. Puppy of Interest 42's break is over, I guess. Puppy of Interest 42 has returned at Blue Phantom's urging. Hello, Charlie. Sweetie Pumpkin. Lots of kisses. You can have another treat. The chat says so. All right, do you want to sit here? Oh, while I was away, what's this? King VR Jr., thank you for sending 24 100s to today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. I'm sure they will keep it nearly a quarter of a century 100 at your urging. Cool Man Fight, thank you for donating again to say. Dr. Sherman, what's that on your ceiling off it? Oh God, that's one of the Snyders and another hand spider. We are running to you as we speak. Well, thankfully, at least I'm in the booth, and the booth is rather secure. But it would be quite friendly of you to get the anomalies out before we finish stream so I can leave. Refreshing the chat, it seems to have a glitch right now. Dr. Sherman, I won't be here tomorrow. Mom's birthday, going to Lagoon Theme Park, Utah. So just catch the VOD. It's Easter themed. You should read SCP-5741. Well, tomorrow is the Easter holiday, so you can believe we will be doing some sort of Easter-related tomfoolery tomorrow. And by tomfoolery, I mean themed research, which is already silly enough to the point where we don't have to do anything specifically silly. How the heck does Dr. Weddle have a house centipede as a pet? They look scary AF. Charlie, that is my thumb. You do not need to bite it. That is strange behavior. Even a nibble. Weird. I understand that is not weird for puppies. I am just humoring the child. And I do not understand how Dr. Weddle has that thing as a pet either, because anything bug-related, not a fan. Interested in a question I just saw, but I'm not going to reference it until I... SCP-067-J is good or no evil. Well, intern Beranacea. Hold on. Puppy seems to want to run away. Go, baby girl, go. Whee! As I was saying, SCP-067-J, codename a keyboard. It is pictured to be a standard Apple iPad-style keyboard that you can attach to an iPad. Item number SCP-067-J, object class safe, special containment procedures. SCP-067-J is to be kept on Researcher West's desk and used by her exclusively. Description: SCP-067-J is a standard Foundation issue keyboard with a broken backspace key. SCP-067-J displays the ability to make anyone who uses it unable to use any either keyboard. So, either is a misspelling because apparently there is no backspace key. Initial discovery. SCP-067 was initially discovered when Researcher West attempted to replace her previously broken keyboard, SCP-067-J, with a new one. When attempting to use her new keyboard, Researcher West found herself unable to use it. Later testing discovered SCP-067-J is the only keyboard she could still use. SCP-067-J testing plan. Due to a relationship with SCP-067-J, Researcher West has been assigned as lead researcher on SCP-067-J and tasked to write this article in order to discover any other anomalous effects associated. SCP-067-J Incident Report 1. The key that is the first letters of the alphabet has stopped working. Getting challenging to write. We'll use @key as a substitute. SCP-067-J Incident Report 2. You gotta be fucking kidding me. So, SCP-067-J is a broken keyboard. Now, I just want to point out how delicious the irony is that SCP-067 is a fountain pen that when used makes you write or draw real good. Meanwhile, SCP-067-J is a keyboard what make you write real bad. I just think that's a humorous, ironic twist. Very, very well done, SCP Wiki. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I enjoy it very much. VW, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. And hey, it's been a while, V-Dubs. How you been? Hope you've been doing well. Grab yourself a smoothie on your way past the commissary. Yoink, no more item. Which one? Find out. Considering how many things we have item number, that could be anything. I am both extremely worried and extremely not worried. This is Schrodinger's worry. What did you take? And put it back. I'm new to the SCP fandom. Is there anything I should know? Well, intern Polish. If there was anything I would tell someone who is new to the community, I would tell them to check out the SCP Wiki, as it is not just a explainer on SCPs like most wikis are, like the Marvel Wiki. The Marvel Wiki is fans documenting facts about Marvel characters. But the SCP Wiki is legitimately the source of the lore. It is where the SCP authors create the SCPs. So the SCP Wiki is the equivalent of Marvel Comics and Marvel movies. It is where the lore happens, made by the authors. And so don't discount the SCP Wiki because you think it's a fan wiki. It's not a fan wiki. Go there to read the stories to get the facts straight from the source. And of course, welcome to our stream here on YouTube. If you have any questions about the SCP community in specific, I'm happy to answer them, as Site42 is our public relations liaison between the SCP community and fandom. At least a self-proclaimed one. I am not ratified by the SCP Wiki or anyone involved. I am doing this for the love of the game. By the way, Site42 staff, we currently have approximately 7 minutes in total left in stream. 7 minutes left in stream. Lone Claw, thank you for donating again to say. To expand more on my answer to Dr. Parasitic, the particular phone doesn't matter, but you can get some funky mallows if you install the app on other devices. It's a great band name, the Funky Mallows. I expect them to be playing at the next sock hop in the gymnasium. The Funky Mallows. I'm going to canonize you in the lore once I figure out the wiki. Well, intern Polish, first of all, I am canon in the SCP universe. The first canon appearance of Dr. Sherman is in the SCP-049 article. When it was rewritten, I did the voice lines for the character, and so the character was named after me. And so that is the first canon appearance, but Dr. Sherman has shown up as a small reference in numerous other SCPs, such as SCP-7777, and I forget the one that DJ told me about, the Site-42 in North Carolina, written by Flops. But that one also mentions me. But real quick, I can show you to help you get used to the wiki faster. When you go to the wiki homepage, you'll see a sidebar in the top left corner. And on that sidebar, you need to go to the Getting Started section. Guide for newcomers, join the site, contribute, frequently asked questions, Universe Hub. This is where you are going to get started. And literally getting started. That's how you're going to start understanding the community better. I also recommend on the top bar where it says resources. You can get into the guides and then the essays and resources and learn a lot of valuable things to help you succeed in your SCP writing journey. I wish you the best of luck, and you can always come here with more questions. V-Dubs, thank you for donating again to say. Do the communist spiders attack entrepreneurs? Well, let me look at the database entry for the communist spiders. Communist spiders, SCP-1006. Otherwise known as codename Spider Proletariat. Written propaganda inside the central web. Evidence of use of simple tools. Once supplied with a source of black ink and poster sheets, it will communicate with humans by creating signs written in English. Documentary-wise, it has not been shown to attack anyone, including entrepreneurs, but I would be a little worried in that case. Spiders can attack humans, and therefore, although they might not be violent at the outset, if the right stimulus were to come up, I would not be surprised. Dr. Parasitic, thank you for donating again to say. Understandable. An odd thought that came to mind is what had happened if we ran Mallow on a biological computer, similarly how they ran Doom on E. coli. Does the creature running it become the host? Fascinating question. One that I would worry about getting the answer to. Because if you put it on E. coli and the host took on, or the mallow took on properties of the host, then would the mallow eventually become infectious? I don't like the way that's going. Furthermore, I now worry about what if you ran the mallow app in Minecraft, on a computer in Minecraft. Would that spawn a Minecraft mallow? Would it be visible to only the player who ran the program? Fascinating mallow questions coming out today. Dr. Parasitic, I like where your head's at. You and Dr. Lovelace are probably going to have some very interesting research co-authored. V-Dubs, thank you for donating again to say, if there are colony spiders, are there any other ideological animals? Well, trying to think. SCP... SCP-3213 proves that all pinniped species, such as sea lions and seals, and elephant seals, all have the ideology of hating the fuck out of some dude named Carl, as evidenced by the SCP-3213 document codename Fuck Off Carl. So we do know those animals are quite ideological. But you would have to go through the database yourself a little more thoroughly, maybe using the animal tag to see if you can find some particular ideologies. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Actually, I do want to talk about this. What's the worst SCP article ever written? Well, the thing of it is, it's really hard to tell because of the SCP community's voting. You see, you go on AO3, you go on fanfiction.net, and people are writing fanfiction, but then they can just write it and post whatever they want. On the SCP database, there is a quality floor because of the community vote. Every page on the wiki is subjected to the community vote, and if the article in question does not pass muster, then the article is deleted. So you end up in a situation where even articles I don't particularly like, for some reason, like they have a flavor I don't like, for instance, one of the most hated articles on the site is SCP-2721, the trans homestuck satellite. Now, I'll tell you from experience, from reading, from breaking down the article, it's a very good article. It's well written. It tells a great story. It uses the narrative tools it uses correctly. But also it has a lot of that Tumblr speak that really makes me cringe to my very soul, so I don't like it. It's not my flavor, but I can see it's well made. And for the people who do like it, it works really well. So that's the kind of articles we have on the SCP database. Hold on one second. Agent Goose, if you could assist me. Puppy of Interest 42 has found the cursed artifacts and is trying to wear the cursed mask. I feel like that would be bad for her health. Can you help me clear these from the laboratory for her safety?
I wonder how long that would take. She's not very old.
Anywho, so yes, to whatever intern asked that question about negative SCPs, I can say with good confidence that what is on the SCP Wiki is solid work, even if it's not my particular favorite flavor, which is why I don't have necessarily a least favorite SCP. All right, we are at the end of stream. I have a couple of donations I have to get through hella quick, and then I gotta go because I have tests to run today. I.e., I have to get to my cover job, guys, so I cannot linger. Intern Shamo, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some Frenchy fries on your way past the commissary. How would you contain harpies? Harpies can stay in a standard humanoid containment chamber. They are just bird women. Easy. Blue Phantom, thank you for 2 donations in a row. Have a good day, Dr. Oh no, you're using SCP-07-J. Have a 7-2. No, no, that's not that! Fuck! Oh! Oh, you bastard. Oh! Very sneaky of you. Sorry for the late April Fool's Day prank. Yeah, making me want to lose my lunch is an April Fool's Day prank. Zachinator, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a plate of flapjacks on your way past the commissary. What if we launch SCP-729 2 nights in a row? Into space. Well, then it wouldn't be contained anymore. We wouldn't know where it is. You do not want that thing anywhere you don't expect it. Dr. Parasitic, thank you for donating again to say. My mindset on running Mallow on biological computers is more so related to running it on SCPs. A terrible world-ending idea could be recovered. 682's biomass. No, 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 not a chance. No way, Jose. Nuh-uh. Yet. No. No. Intern Voided String, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself some fried mozzarella on your way past the commissary. What are you in the O5's thoughts on science corporations such as Innovation Inc., who have multiple space station ships and colonies and FTL travel? Well, if their universe has that technology, then I don't care. It's normal. But if they're doing it in our neck of the woods where that is anomalous, then we have problems. Big problems. Ethan Stewart, thank you for donating again to say. What would happen if we bury the corrosive mask? Well, the corrosive acid would cause a cave to form underneath, which would cause a cave-in if someone stepped on it, and then they would fall into the mask's area, and therefore would be manipulated into wearing it. Bad idea. Mewinnie, thank you for your first donation of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a bowl of macaroni on your way past the commissary. Do you think the stuff 035 and 106 make are the same? Well, I don't know that we've tested the corrosive properties of the two of them together. I would be interested in a chemical analysis. Good idea. Terragal, thank you for donating, maybe for the first time today, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some Frosty Flakes on your way past the commissary. The D-Class is now harming himself whilst still crying, mumbling about his childhood memories being gone, and a need to get them back. It probably takes memories the more you try to open the pendant. Ah, there is the 4U News app, SCP, that's very similar. If you use the 4U News app, SCP, then it keeps giving you news that's specifically related to you, but it also eats your memories. The 4U News app, SCP, 4U News, SCP. (5343) SCP-5343 does that. So we can run a cross test and compare and contrast there. Good stuff. Keep up the good work. Intern Whitehead, thank you for sending 14 GGs to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. I am sure they will have very good games at your urging. Zachinator, thank you for donating in to say, what if we launch SCP-729? That's it. Into a black hole so we can finally get rid of that damn thing. I don't want to risk the sun launcher which would clearly get destroyed by such a anomaly. Do you think it's going to stay on a shuttle without busting out? Come on, son. Think about it. All right, Site42 staff, we have made it to the end of today's stream, and as I always do at the end of stream, even when I got to rush like today, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs, but I'm not going to tell you that my favorite SCPs are my favorite. Oh, damn it. But I do have to take a small side journey, even if I'm in a rush, because a rare appearance from Theo. Theo is very shy, very hard to get her on camera. If I put my hand down, will you ask for attention? Will you mean nope, gone? The scariest baby. That is the site cryptid, basically. As I was saying, I always tell you my favorite SCPs, but I'm not going to tell you the SCPs I wrote are my favorite. That would be cheating. But if you want to see the SCPs I wrote, you can go to my author page. My author page, the Sherman Site42 Hub, and author page on the SCP database. There you can see the SCPs I permanently wrote. Yes, I permanently wrote them. They are there for the end of days. You can find the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines or sound effects too. And while you're on the database looking at my SCPs, one tab over from them, you'll find some links. Links that a lot of people in the chat ask about, not a lot are smart enough to find. But you guys, my containment hazard assessment team, smart enough to find them. I know you are. And so you'll find those links and you can become a YouTube channel member or a Site42 Patreon patron to support us monthly. You can do Ko-Fis or super chats to donate to us one at a time. Either way, direct donations are the quickest way to keep the lights on for myself, Desk, and the rest of the Site42 staff, so we appreciate your generosity. And if you can't donate, do not fret. As a member of Mobile Task Force Sci-42, codenamed Signal Boosters, you are still exceptionally valuable to myself and the Foundation. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, not just to us, but to the SCP authors and artists, the animators, game devs, filmmakers, merch makers, podcasters, everyone who makes SCPs, you are helping us to convince them not to abandon the SCP IP because they're afraid of the Creative Commons. We can help these people make bigger and better projects. We just have to band together. And with you guys in Mobile Task Force Sci-42, codenamed Signal Boosters, we can make it happen. And I thank you for your service. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 399, 304, content warning on the last one's a rough read. Researcher Pointless, thank you for becoming a Patreon patron during today's stream. I just got the notification. Thank you for joining as a Patreon patron. We appreciate your newly minted patronship. Meanwhile, Blue Phantom, thank you for donating again to say, do you think SCP-999 can stop SCP-7? Do not shit. Whoa, no, but never test. No. No, the one time we had them interact, and you can look in that thing's documentation, 999 literally vaporized itself, teleported away, and reconstituted. We did not know that 999 could frickin' teleport, but it learned to, I guess, because it hates that thing so frickin' much. Chrono Flare, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Orange Julius on your way past the commissary. Evening Director reporting all clear for the evening. Well, that's good. I'm going to have a long night at my cover job, so please maintain security for the time being. Okay, Site42 staff, this has been another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream. In a town in the woods at the top of a hill, there's a house where no one lives. So you take a big bag of your big city money there and buy it. But at night when the house is dark and you're all alone, there's a noise upstairs. At the top of the stairs, there's a door, and you take a deep breath and try it. And the flashlight shows you something moving just inside the door. There's a tattered dress and a feeling you have felt somewhere before. And there's a creepy doll that always follows you. It's got a ruined eye that's always open. And there's a creepy doll that always follows you. It's got a pretty mouth to swallow you whole. The credit song is Creepy Doll by Jonathan Colton. I thought it was thematic with the creepy cursed chest in my office. Grumble, grumble. Be safe, be well, Site 42 staff, and as always, secure, contain, protect.